sip my tea. Hopefully we don't have any juice drinkers watching the video. But hello. Haven't been live in a while. I think it's been like almost a week maybe? I don't know. When's the last time I went live? Maybe? No, less than a week. I'll wait for some people to join in. This is Shroomin Bloomin part 3. I thought that I already did a Shroomin Bloomin part 3, but I didn't. That was me predicting that I was going to do a Shroomin Bloomin part 3. So, yeah, here we are. I am recovering from my trip this weekend because I ate mushrooms 2 days in a row. And it was nice. Here I am on my creaky bed. I can't wait to get rid of this fucking thing. I'm just going to give it away to somebody soon and buy like a nice... Maybe I'll make this room into a gym. That's what I'm thinking. Since they want to shut that shit down. Fuck, man. A gym/office, would that work? Can I do that? Get rid of this bed. Give it to somebody. Redo my living room. Just do all my videos in there. And fucking put like all my weights and buy some exercise equipment and put it in here. My cup is really cool. I think I got it from the Christmas tree shop last year. It says Wicked. I'm really enjoying chai tea with lemon and honey in it. It's really good. All right. Enough of me rambling. I'm probably going to ramble a lot in this. All right, so Shroomin Bloomin part 3. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. I always get compliments on my mugs. All right, yeah, so I went in Saturday and Sunday. Sunday I did like a little, but I had a Reiki that day. So it was Tuesday it fucking hit me. Yesterday it hit me hard. Monday was a great day. Tuesday I was like, I can't move. I think I'm dying. My body was like, bitch, lay down because you fucked yourself up this weekend. So Saturday I went in with my friend Mike again, and we kind of went through hell together in layman's terms. So a lot of times, sometimes when you do shrooms, you have like really good trips and then you have like not so nice ones. But the not so nice ones allow you to purge. So I'm not going to go into like full detail because a lot of it is personal stuff and it's a lot of like what me and him experienced, and maybe I can get him on a live. So like, he, you know, I don't want to tell his stuff, you know what I mean? But we have friends that passed away from addiction, and I dated a person for 4 years who was like my best friend since we were kids, and then we got into a relationship when we were in our early 20s, and you know, we were together for 4 years in that relationship, and it was a crazy relationship. He was an addict, and so when I went into the trip, I basically tapped into his energy, and so did Mike, because Mike was really good friends with him. And it was harsh, you know? Feeling into the energy of an addict and what they go through, it's like literally being on a ride from hell, you know? And during those 4 years, I feel like I went through that ride from hell with him. Like I had like a piece of that in me. So like when you're in a relationship with someone that's addicted to drugs, like you're going through it too. Like it's hard. It is hard. It is harsh. You know, it was very intense, and I feel like there was definitely a lot of trauma from that relationship that I'm still working through today. And unfortunately, he did not make it. He ended up passing away, I think, 2 years after we broke up. And I just, with him, it was like, I didn't want to leave him. I had to leave him. Like, I loved him so much, and he loved me so much. And it was like, we loved each other, but that was like a huge problem. the drugs got in the middle of us. And, I relived a lot of that on Saturday of like what I went through with him, the really, really bad stuff, and then like the really, really good stuff. So it was like a lot of like ups and downs. And then, Mike was like reliving his stuff, connected to him and like other people and then his own situations. So it was like a lot of emotional purging. And I feel like what Chris was trying to tell us during this, like his energy, first of all, he definitely elevated. He's not like where he was when he passed away. I feel like his energy is way higher. So when he comes in, it almost feels like more angelic to me. It doesn't feel human. Like the other friend that I was talking about in Shroomin Bloomin Part 1, his energy is a little different because it's closer to the planet. Chris has evolved. Because I feel like he's kind of like finished a lot of his business here. So I don't feel human him. I just feel his energy and spirit. So it's a different kind of feeling. I just got a weird pain in my head when I said that. Okay. And I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the sadness and depression thing. So I feel like what happens with a lot of addicts is they're highly misunderstood, and people that are on the other side. So like when I was in the relationship dealing with him, it was just like, you need to get off drugs. I did not understand what he was really going through because I wasn't in that situation. I was never addicted to drugs. Everyone has their own things that they're addicted to, and I always say that mine is working a lot. Mine is work, which is not like a bad addiction, but in ways it can be bad for me because when I don't slow down, I crash, and that fucks me up. But of course, it's not something like a drug addiction. I've actually learned over the years, especially being an entrepreneur and owning my own business for 6 years, I've learned when I need to slow down. But I physically fucked myself up from overworking. Like things will happen to me physically when I overwork. So it manifests in the physical reality. But like it was so strange because it was like almost like I was in his mind and his heart while we were tripping, and I was like feeling his energy of being misunderstood. I feel like he was very misunderstood. So he was a person that when he loved you, like he loved you, and he was very, very loyal. And I know, like, and I feel this with him. I feel like between him and the last person I dated, I don't know. I feel Chris more. I feel Chris maybe more. Like Chris was like unconditional love. Like he loved me to the core. And I still feel that now, even after he's gone. I mean, he did things for me that other guys would never do. Like I'll never forget one day when we were at one of my shows. So he was like my protector. When I was doing music, he was always like, he was kind of like my bodyguard. Like he would make sure that people wouldn't fuck with me. Because dudes, when you're doing music, people will try to do some dumb shit. So he was always there, like making sure that everything was good. And I'll never forget, one day our friends left and there was this kid that followed me in the bathroom, and he pulled him out of the bathroom and he was basically like, get the fuck out of here. And then at the end of the night, he ended up getting jumped. He ended up getting like beat up by like 10 people. You know, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't do that for their girl, like protect their girl like that. It was like, I don't care, I will do anything to protect you. And that is something that I really honor within our relationship. And there was a lot of other things too that I'm not going to go into because it's kind of incriminating. But yeah, I'm not going to go into that. But so when I went in to the trip, I could feel like that unconditional love that he had for me. And I could also feel, God, it's so hard to explain things like when you're doing mushrooms, because like you're in that, you're in the other realm. So it's like you don't exist fully in the physical body. Like you're moving in and out of all these different astral planes. And I feel like I could feel his sadness and his depression. But the biggest thing was how he was extremely misunderstood. And I feel like when he communicated, because he would yell a lot, and I used to yell a lot too. So we were like a fucking flaming ball of fire together. Like when we fought, you could hear us like 6 blocks over. Like we were wild. Like we had that kind of relationship. It got really crazy in our house sometimes. Like I feel like I learned a lot from him not to engage in arguments. Like I will yell at my significant other, but with him, like I was fucking crazy and he was crazy too. So that was something that I learned too, being in a relationship with him, is that I can't be with somebody that's as crazy as me. I kind of need somebody who's like more calm, because you get me mad and you get me going and you come at me, then I come right back at you. But I've learned a lot since then. I was in my early 20s then. I'm 35 now, so it's not the same. But I learned a lot from him and our relationship. But yeah, it was like he would act out in ways because he wanted to be heard, and people definitely misunderstood him. And that was something that I felt like I could see through his eyes and how he was misunderstood going through the trip, and even also how I misunderstood him during that time. But during that time, it was just like I had to do what I had to do to protect myself. So that was the big thing, is like, you know, you can't, like, this can't keep going on. And I gave this kid a lot of chances, a lot of fucking chances, like a lot. Like, I put up with a lot of bullshit with him that I will never do with anybody ever again. Because I loved him, and like I said, it was like we were friends since we were kids, and then we started dating when we were older, and we just had like this deep soul connection. But yeah, it was definitely like going down the rabbit hole of addiction and what it does to people, and how it affects people that are around them, and how it affects the person internally. And it really is, to me, I feel like addiction is definitely attachment. So the more that you do drugs, the more you are feeding the attachment. I don't believe that it is a disease. I feel like that is complete bullshit. I'm sorry, but I don't believe it's a disease. I think it's an energetic attachment, and I definitely feel like it can be removed and healed, but it's something that takes a lot of healing work to move through. And I feel like it is something that, in order to remove that attachment, you have to dive in deep spiritually. And I think that when people are treating addicts, it's not like that. It's like that to a point. But I'm saying, like, in-depth spiritual work like I do, you will be able to remove that attachment. And also a lot of conversation came up about how wounded men are. This is another thing that we went through. You know, men need healing too, and I feel like a lot of the spiritual community is devoted to women. And I definitely feel, as Ascension Next develops, especially when we move, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff for men. Men heal differently than women. They don't talk the same. They don't communicate the same. I feel like I'm really good at communicating with men because I've been around men my whole life. I've hung out with guys. I've always been like one of the girls that hangs out with the guys. I know how to communicate with men really well. I also feel like men can go really, really deep. Like, men can have deep conversations naturally. I feel like women allow their emotions to get in the way and don't go that deep because they can't handle too much unless they move a lot through the heart chakra. With men, I noticed that men are stronger in their identity. So men are stronger in the lower chakras. They understand who they are more, and when they open up to you, they will be able to express themselves freely and go into really deep and in-depth conversation. But you have to know how to do that. I feel like I am somebody that definitely knows how to do that, and I feel like I will definitely be holding space for men when I move into my new space. Because there's a lot that I feel like men want to talk about, but they don't know how to open up, and they don't know how to share because they don't trust. That's the thing with men, is they don't trust. And they feel that it's a sign of weakness, but it's the way that you communicate with them, they will be able to do that. Yeah, guys are way less drama. Completely, yes. 100%. I actually healed a lot with women because I always had a thing with women where I was like, I can't deal with you, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I was always like, I'll go hang out with the guys because it's just more simple and to the point. It's not like, and that was the thing, like, Chris and all those dudes, like, you hung out with them, you know, you knew if they didn't like you, fucking God forbid they didn't like you, fucking feel bad for you, you know? Yeah, he would definitely show that, poor bastards, if he didn't like you. But the other part is, you know, when they liked you and they loved you, it was real. It was fucking real, you know? Um, and that was the thing. You know, with women, it's more like, hey, and then the door closes and it's like, talk all this shit. I don't play that shit. I don't play that shit one little bit. And I've had women in this community. There's still women that don't like me. And it's just like, okay, you know, they'll talk all this shit about me. Ashley's a bitch, whatever, whatever. But ask me my side of the story. Do it. Ask me my side of the story. Because I'm sure it'll be a lot different than theirs and you'll get the fucking truth out of me. But anyways. So yeah, and I really feel like drugs are fucking up the masculine energy big time. Drugs are coming in and they're going for the masculine men and they're fucking them up. That's what I feel, is because all those kids that we hung out with, they were real people. They were real, like, to the core. And I'm not saying that everyone that does drugs is like that, but it's like they don't know how to express, they don't know how to communicate, so they end up going down that road. And it's definitely like, with some of Mike's experiences with his friends, it was like, oh yeah, like men gravitate more towards drugs in order to deal with their problems and issues. So that was another thing that came up. One of the big things that came up, though, during the conversation we just started talking about was the whole antidepressants thing. So that was something that I feel like I need to share as well. Antidepressants are not good. And I don't care who I offend during this. If you're on antidepressants, okay then. And I feel like some people may need them. Some people may need them for where they are, and you may need them for certain points in your life. But I feel like the issue is people stay on them too long and they don't deal with their fucking problems. And there's this whole numbing thing in our society. So it's like, either do like hardcore drugs, you know, like I was talking about before, or the antidepressants thing. I feel like it's kind of one and the same. Honestly, I feel like you can function more on antidepressants. You can't function. Some people can function being a fucking addict. But the message that I got and what I saw from the plant medicine. So when you ask the plant medicine information, it'll give you the easy truth, like real raw truth. So the conversation came up about it, and it was just like, antidepressants, from what I was seeing from with the plant medicine, is they stifle your spiritual growth and your spiritual connection. So it's almost like you have a fog over you where you can only go to the next level. So, and then, you know, if you're on anything and you're watching this video and you really want spiritual development, you can't have real spiritual development until you feel all that pain to the core. You can't. So I'm not telling anyone on this video at all to go drop their meds. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just asking you to ask yourself the question, how far do you want to go in your personal development, in your spiritual development, and do you feel like you're stuck? Because if you are and you feel that, then you may want to begin to see, like, how do you wean off these things, you know? And like I said, I'm not a medical professional. I am a spiritual fucking professional. I'm not giving anyone medical advice. I'm just telling you what's going on in the spirit realm. I saw basically it puts a cap on your development, so you can only get so far. So antidepressants also don't allow you to feel. And you have, so like, when we were on that trip, we were feeling hardcore shit. You know what I mean? Even the next day I woke up, I was kind of like, oh my God, like that was intense. Like I relived like the crazy shit I went through with that kid. Like there was some nights we fought so bad, I was like, am I going to come out of this alive? You know, like he never put his hands on me, but he would get like crazy. And I would be like, yo, I gotta go stay in the bedroom. But it was like scary at some points. And because he was fucked up, you know, it wasn't him. That wasn't him when he was mad like that. It was something else. And I really feel like it was the attachment. And I feel like what antidepressants do is they basically block you from digging deep into your ability and who you are and feeling that pain. Like, you gotta feel that fucking pain. If you don't feel that pain, you can't release that fucking pain and you can't go to the next level. And that's what I had to do Saturday, like relive that fucking relationship. And that relationship was scary. It was scary, you know? And it was also great. There was like a lot of great things about that relationship, but there was a lot. It was like a fucking pendulum. Like, oh my God, this is great. Oh my God, am I gonna die? You know? So you have to feel that fucking pain. And people are just so used to numbing everything. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that if you really want high level development. You gotta face the shit. And that's what I talk about all the time, you know? Hang on, I want to read some of these comments. I got off my meds, felt foggy every day. They were good at first when I was a kid, but it's like they put me on and just let it be. So glad I'm off them, says Marcus. Yeah, it's definitely like putting you in the fog. That's what I saw. It was like people that are on them, it clouds your energy fields and you can't allow that light fully in. Because you're not feeling into your truth. You're not feeling into who you are. You have to, in order to feel the really good and that almost orgasmic part of yourself, you gotta feel the bad shit. You gotta dive into the bad shit. You gotta dive into that sadness. You gotta learn how to deal with anxiety. Like, during that time when I was with him and even after, I used to fucking smoke myself stupid. Like, you never saw Ashley without a blunt in her hand. And I would literally smoke like fucking 7 blunts a day, not even kidding. Now I don't do that shit. I can barely like take a hit off the joint because I get paranoid. I wish I could still smoke, but I can't. And don't tell me to try the different weeds because I've already tried. They all fucking make me paranoid. So that's kind of why I do CBD oil, but I do that a little bit and I transitioned. I like the mushrooms. I started with caffeine. Caffeine's like something that helps me a little bit as well, but I can't do too much of anything because I'm like so fucking sensitive to everything. But you know, it's like, yeah, I used to smoke myself fucking stupid because I had like horrible anxiety. Maybe I had horrible anxiety because I smoked too much, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, when I started doing this work and I started meditating more and I started feeling my fucking feelings, it was like I basically like weaned off of weed so easily. It was like, oh, I don't need it. Then it was like, okay, I'll smoke before I go to bed. And then it was like, I don't fucking need this shit anymore. You know, and everyone's different. You know, some people, they smoke weed to get grounded. I have a lot of friends that do that and they do this work. I can't. But yeah, so but I feel like, honestly, antidepressants were made to stunt people's spiritual growth. That's why I feel like they were made. And there's ways that you can work with your depression, anxiety, panic attacks, whatever, doing a lot of internal work, really tapping in spiritually. Like I said, I'm not telling you to get rid of that shit, but really think about it. If you want high level spiritual development, if you want to go to that next level, you want to tap into your intuition. How are you numbing yourself? Because we all find ways to do that. You know? And I don't know, man. I'm here to fucking feel the pain of life and also feel the love intensely. And the more that you tap into that pain and you really dig into it, the rewards are unimaginable. Like, the way my life is now is like crazy good. You know, it's fucking hard. It's challenging. There's things that come up and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, I was scared shitless to invest with my coach in September, like fucking frightened. And I did it because it was a lot of fucking money and it's amazing. You know, you need to face that fear. And I feel like that's what the mushrooms were saying is like, almost too, like, Ashley, look at everything. Like, that's what me and Mike were saying, like, look at everything we've been through and look at where we are now. Like, he owns his own business. I own my own business. We're both very successful. Like, looking back at, like, what we were doing and even, like, who we were around, we're like, holy fucking shit, man. Like, we're living the good life. You know, and like sometimes I feel like the mushrooms are like, let's go back and show you what you were in. And that was like 10 years ago. I think I left him 9 years ago. I left in 2011. Yeah, I left him 9 years ago. And then he passed away right the night before Thanksgiving in 2013. So it's fucking wild how much your life can change when you put the work in. I use CBD oil, no caffeine, and herbal tea. My dad is on so many prescription meds, and I mean, I don't know. I just feel like you really think about that, you know, with the and I have clients that are like, I want to get off of it. And I'm like, go talk to your doctor. Don't tell me. Like, go fucking do that with your doctor. But if you're feeling like you want to get off of it, fucking do it. That means your soul is like, let's do this. And there's a lot of different things that you can do. Like I don't know, CBD helps me. You know what I mean? But there's more natural remedies. And that's the thing. They don't want you to know about that shit. Like the mushrooms help me. You know, like taking the mushrooms like twice a month. I'd like to take them once a week. But taking mushrooms like twice a month and doing like a deep trip, like anxiety release. Anxiety, because I carry a lot on my shoulders. I'm fucking taking care of myself. I'm like living on my own. I'm supported. I have my own fucking business. I don't have a fucking partner. You know what I mean? Like, it's just me. I have friends that support me, but entrepreneurial lifestyle can be a lonely fucking life, and it can be stressful when everything's on your shoulders, and I'm doing it, you know? And the mushrooms, I feel like, are helping me get through all of this and really helping me evolve and expand. And, like, you know, I have my times where I get frightened, but then I have that expansion. So it's like every time I feel like, oh, fuck, man, what am I doing? Like, how much further can I go? I move through it. I don't run away from it. And I feel like that's what the mushrooms is saying, is like, you don't run away from anything. Like, look at how good you're doing and look at where you've came from. And, you know, I feel like with him, I feel like he's definitely watching over me. I can feel his energy around a lot all the time. I appreciate everything that I've went through with him, because everything that ride from hell that I went through with him, like I said, there was a lot of good too, but it helped me get here. Because when I was with him, I kind of hit rock bottom after we had a lot of issues with the cops and all this stuff. I was like, Jesus, like, where is my life going? And I started learning Reiki, and I started with the crystals. I became like the spiritual basic bitch, and it like changed my whole fucking life. So definitely a lot of gratitude for Chris for the lessons that we learned together. Yeah, it was good. I miss him. Me and Mike were telling funny stories about him too. And we were laughing because he was just so crazy. He didn't give a fuck, man. If you had a problem with him, he was like relentless. Like, he wouldn't fucking leave you alone. He was a crazy bastard. That's why I loved him, though. I was like, yeah, that's my boyfriend. But then when he came at me, I'm like, oh my God, this fucking kid. But that I fucking stood up to him like other people wouldn't have stood up to him. But yeah. He's good. I don't think there's anything else that really came up during that. That was just like, I mean, a lot of it was personal stuff that I don't want to talk about, like going into details, you know what I mean? But the whole point of this video is just like, then the mushrooms will bring you to crazy places. They will bring you to crazy places in your heart and in your mind and in your memories, and it's just things that you need to work through in order to heal. Exactly. When you don't run away from your shit, you excel so quickly. It's amazing. Yeah. And Marcus is in a lot of my private containers, and I was talking about that, like the biggest risks will give you the greatest rewards, you know? So, yeah. All right. So that is my video for today. I was kind of like, do I feel like going live? I haven't been live in a while. But yeah, I was fucked up yesterday. I was like, damn, like my body was like, because I had a Reiki on Sunday, and that was intense as well. A lot of heart chakra stuff with me, and that was the thing too. Is like, now I'm out of a relationship, and kind of like my door is closing. My door is closed, and I gotta open the fucking door and let people in, and blah 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 blah. You know, Ashley gets kind of cynical when she leaves relationships. I get a little towards men because I don't want to deal with them. But I need to open the door if I want somebody to come in. I used shrooms back in the day, and what I thought was a bad trip turned into my greatest. Yeah, I mean, it's usually like the ones that bring you down that like rabbit hole. You're like, because like after the night after, because we tripped in the morning, I was like, this sucked. I was like sitting in my house like, that sucked. Even though we laughed a lot, there was a lot of funny things that came up. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if you think Biden won the election, he didn't, because like that was the first thing that came up. I just started like laughing hysterically when I started tripping about like people thinking that Biden won the election. Trump won, and he's going to get in. So prepare yourself. If you hate Trump, he's going to get in. I'm just telling you. The mushrooms told me. And I've been channeling that since the day of the election that Trump already won. So, yeah, get over that shit if you're mad about that. And I think it goes way deeper than Trump winning. I feel like there's going to be some arrest. Oh, yeah. And I'm just praying that there's somebody that gets arrested with the initials HC. So anyways, and if you know me, you know who I'm talking about. Anyways, but yeah, my program presence, the container's open. It's going to be open till Friday. Get in there. That fucking container is fire. I did the intro video last night, and it was Baby Eater. Yeah, Baby Eaters are going to fucking jail. But yeah, so it's only $99. It's all about just showing up as a light worker. We're going to talk about divine alignment. We're going to talk about inspired action, manifestation, as far as like, what do you want to do with your purpose work? Like all of that. It's a free flow, fun container, lots of journaling. The link is in the bio if you're on Instagram. If not, then I'll put the link somewhere else. But yeah. All right, I gotta go do some computer work, and I really want to watch Peaky Blinders because that's something that I started watching. Gangsta shit. All right, I'll see you guys soon. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and go take some mushrooms. Bye.